my name is Caitlin. I am a fashion YouTuber and reseller on eBay and Poshmark. I love vintage and modern fashion, and today we are going to be doing the modern persuasion, particularly the kawaii persuasion. So I am going to do a fairy K type makeover situation. I'm gonna do makeup, hair, outfits. I've got like 2 or 3 outfits that I think I'm gonna show, and I'm also going to be talking about some of the hotter takes from the outsiders as far as kawaii fashion is concerned, the normies as we call them. I am a glutton for punishment. I love just reading just really horrible takes on kawaii fashion from like douchebags that think that women are like sexual objects and that they, by being adult women and wearing cute things, are sexualizing the cute things because they're women, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna get to that. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. And I'm super excited because I have some new stuff that I got from Kawaii Goods on Etsy. And I think you can actually go to her website directly and she makes more money if you do it like that. But for some reason I ordered it on Etsy. I got this from her. Isn't that amazing? Oh, so good. I love like handmade decora kawaii style stuff. Like, look at it. It's so beautiful. And this is a shirt by somebody called Purica Ink, I think. It's written right there. And then this is just a vintage sweater that I found at a thrift store because we are thrift queens in this house. So yeah, I have just recently gotten into fairy K, but I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what goes into it. So a lot of the elements of fairy K are similar to Lolita. It's just a different silhouette and basically graphic tees instead of blouses. Like, it's very similar to Lolita just as far as the different inspirations and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like 80s cartoon characters, and now like just regular artists are making their own amazing graphic tees that you can buy, and they're adorable. So I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with, first it was Lolita, now it's fairy K and Lolita. I don't know if I'll ever go back to vintage fashion ever again, if I'm going to be honest. I hate to say it. I know it hurts some of you people, but I love vintage fashion. I think that it's fun and all of that stuff, but like honestly, I like that with J Fashions there are kind of guidelines, because I feel like I'm just like floating out in the ether with vintage fashion in general. Because like how do you, it's like vintage is like the past 80 years worth of fashion. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of options out there. So I like to take vintage stuff that can be used for fairy K and Lolita looks into my closet now. So that's what we're kind of working with. So yeah, let's get started. Look, so I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I have been through hell trying to get this video done. I have recorded it. This is my 3rd time recording it. And I edited half of one and decided to refilm it because I didn't like it, and finished the second one, and then I ended up having to like delete some stuff from my computer, and I ended up deleting some of the stuff that was in the video, and now the video's ruined, and it's just terrible. It's horrible. So that's what we're dealing with right now. If I look a little frazzled, that's why, because I'm irritated, because the last video was really good and it just gone. So what were some of the hotter takes, you may ask? Most of them, whenever you really look at them and like think about it, they're kind of like them problems, you know what I mean? Like it's a problem with like how they view certain things or how they view women, and not necessarily like how women are or how girly things are. So not that, you know, everyone can wear kawaii fashion, but it is definitely effeminate, and I think that it definitely strikes a feminine nerve in people. Like, it comes across as girly. Let it be noted, I have a bird. He's going to bird. He's here. He's queer. He's chirping. And there's nothing that can be done. So, apologies in advance. He's out of his cage right now, so I'm just really hoping that that keeps him quiet, but I don't think it's going to. So, one of them was that people are, quote unquote, trying to be kids and trying to look childlike and sexy. And I think that, like, I think that comes down to, like, a misappropriation thing. Like, people misusing kawaii fashion in, like, a sexual context. Like, that's probably where they got that idea from. You know, people being in hashtags they don't belong in. Because, honestly, like, I do not see any of J fashion as particularly sexy. Like, in what sense? Because, literally, this was it. Attempting to look childlike and sexy. Who? Who are you talking about? We know who he's talking about. And it's not us. It's somebody else. This is so annoying. This is why we're such hashtag warriors. So that one's just pretty much out the window already. Then we've got holds women back, pressure from men to be cute but not capable. So somebody has developed this idea that kawaii fashion is being pressed on women by men. Okay, so that's interesting. And not only is it being, you know, put on women by men, but it also holds women back, according to this person, to be wearing kawaii fashion. It holds people back. I don't know what it's supposed to hold people back from. I did see one article about a woman who, she was like a scientist, and she was also into kawaii fashion, and some of her research was kind of like falling by the wayside because she was just so cute that like that's all anybody cared about. But again, that's like a them issue. That's not a her issue. Kawaii fashion, according to these people, also means that someone is supposed to be demure and childlike in behavior, which goes to show that they've literally never met a kawaii person ever. They've only seen like very stereotypical interpretations of kawaii fashion like on TV or something like that. Because like I've seen this before. It's like somebody is under the impression that just because we're cute doesn't mean we don't cuss like sailors. Like, we are who we are. We're no more powerful or no less powerful than anyone else. We're just wearing pink. Somebody said that kawaii people are obsessive in their attention to appearance. Guilty as charged, my friend. But that doesn't make me any less of like a smart person. Like, just because I enjoy putting all kinds of like crazy clothes on and like crazy makeup doesn't mean that I'm not capable of like independent thought or anything, or not able to do anything else. Like, that one just, I don't know, that one really rubbed me the wrong way. It's like they think that we just sit here and do our makeup all day, which is what I've done for the past 3 days trying to record this video, but that's for YouTube. And okay, maybe I do it every day, but that's beside the point. I also run my own business, so fuck you. Another one was that they don't like the emphasis being on cuteness rather than beauty, which I think is like, how are those not one and the same? Like, kawaii artwork is beautiful artwork. It's just, it's not typically beautiful. Like, it's still pretty. It still looks nice. I don't understand that one either. I'm just, ugh. Like, just the wild assumptions that people make. Like, just because I'm extra doesn't mean that I'm not capable of, like, being a regular human being, and doesn't mean that I don't, like, go to work and stuff like that. Like, of course I do. This is the thing that I do when I'm not doing those things. So this wanting to be a kid thing popped up a whole lot, which is just, I don't understand at what point you're supposed to stop liking lace and pink and, like, adorable little bunnies and stuff like that. Like, unicorns? Have you seen unicorns? They're amazing. Why would you not love that as an adult? Another one was for people who are emotionally immature and that want to escape reality and responsibility. Again, I own my own business. Like, kawaii fashion and Lolita fashion are very expensive, and, like, if we were irresponsible, we would not be able to save up for the kinds of pieces that we have. And, like, we make our own stuff too. Like, that's fiscally responsible, isn't it? I don't know about all that though, because honestly, I made some clips and I ordered a bunch of, like, different, you know, little plastic bits and bobs of, like, fruits and, like, hearts and junk like that. I ordered a bunch of those from, like, Etsy, and it cost a lot of money. But I think if I sold them, they would be worth more than I spent. But I'm not going to sell them because I love them. Like, if we're so irresponsible, how do we have conventions and, like, afford the kinds of wardrobes that we have? Like, it's just ridiculous. And I don't understand, like, why we have to characterize cute things as for children. Like, who says? At what point do they stop being cute to you? Like, you don't think they're cute? One person said that kawaii and naive were synonymous. Like, that kawaii fashion implied naivety in some sort of way, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know, like, what about pinks makes you naive? Like, that's just crazy. The hoops that people have to jump through to come to this conclusion is just, like, it's absurd. It comes down to people thinking that, like, kawaii people are somehow childlike, like, as people, and that's, like, we're adults. We're all adults. What makes you think that we just act like all the time? Who does that? We are not the annoying weebs. There are some annoying weebs within our rank, but we love them anyway. Yeah, I think that a lot of that comes down to people thinking, like, kawaii fashion automatically means, like, people that are obsessed with Japan and that, like, want to move to Japan and all this, you know, those types of people that, like, Naruto run and stuff like that. And, like, we are not all Naruto runners. We really don't have that many of them, I promise. We do Naruto run, ironically though, for Instagram. One guy was saying that, like, kawaii fashion only works on Japanese women because Western women are too sexy. Weird. That was a real weird one. They were like, oh, you know, Western women are so sexually liberated. They're all, you know, walking around with, like, nothing on, apparently. Have you ever been to the United States? Because we really don't have a great attitude towards sex. I don't know if you've seen our legislation lately, but it's not going very well. Oh, here's another one. If a mother teaches her kids to be kawaii, she instills inferiority, low esteem, and low self-respect from wearing pink. Like, these people think that there's, like, this whole, like, made-up person that is kawaii, and it's like, this person does not actually exist. We are just regular people, I promise. And, like, who is teaching their child to be quote-unquote kawaii? Like, are you, like, raising them in a Sanrio house? Because honestly, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. But that doesn't mean that they have to be, like, weak or submissive in any way. Because somebody wants to wear a Hello Kitty dress. Must mean that she's weak and submissive. Another one is that we want attention. No. I do not want attention. Please leave me alone. I know that I'm dressed weird, but Jesus Christ. Like, it's like people don't even think that you're human or something when you're dressed outside of the cultural norm. Like, they think that you want to tell them all about what you're doing and why you're doing it and blah, 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 blah. It's like, who do you think wants to do all that? And, like, a passing compliment is fine. Oh my God, you look amazing. Thanks. And then that's it. But, like, those people that just think that you want to talk to them about and, like, explain the whole fashion to them and, like, where it came from and where you get your clothes and do you make your clothes. Like, there are just, people ask way too damn many questions, I tell ya. I mean, most of the alternatively dressed people that I know are just horrible in, like, social situations, or, like, feel really uncomfortable in social situations, or, like, talking to strangers or whatever. Like, do I not just look like one giant ball of anxiety to these people? I should. Because that's what I am. Leave me alone. Some Lolita-specific misconceptions were that Lolitas that have brand are, like, spoiled rich girls. And again, it just goes to show, like, that these people have never actually met anyone in these fashion subcultures, because they would know that, like, most of us do not come from money. You don't get into alternative fashion by being wealthy. It just doesn't work that way. Another one was that the rules are oppressive, which is like they stifle creativity or whatever. And the thing is, like, the rules are really just kind of like a qualification. Like, it's just like, if you don't have these elements, then you don't have this sort of fashion. And it's just like, I don't understand why it offends people so much that, like, they can't go around calling a petticoat and a corset fucking Lolita fashion and get away with it. And like I was saying, you know, I find the rules, like, really helpful to me personally. I think that they're really useful. I think that, like, if I can go down a little checklist to create this sort of look, then that's easier for me than, like, some sort of ambiguous sort of thing that it's just very widely qualified and not very specific. Oh, I found another one that comes down to them thinking that we want to be kids. Somebody said that it makes you look like a minor, or like a 12-year-old or a 5-year-old or whatever age they're gonna compare you to, which is like, oh my God, it is so fucking irritating. I have been heckled from across the room before, from this guy that was saying that I look like I'm 5 and that I look like a little kid and blah, 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 blah. It was really horrible, honestly. Like, again, we are adults. You're not seeing teenagers running around with the kinds of closets we have. We are adults. And just because we like bright colors and fun patterns doesn't mean that we want to be children. Like, it just means that we like bright colors and patterns and stuff. They look too much into stuff. It's like they're looking for it. Like, the people who think that just seem to think that everything is related to pedophilia, and they're like those QAnon types, you know what I mean? And like, yeah. So those types of people I don't generally take seriously, but it is particularly upsetting that they just, like, put it on you that you either want to be a kid or that you have some sort of, like, weird humiliation fetish. And the annoying part was that when I was looking at these, like, threads or whatever, like, these conversations that I was, you know, skimming for tea, there were a couple people that were in there were like, oh, I'd love to, oh my God, one guy literally said that he would love to come on it. Ew! Like, and there were a couple that were like, oh, I want a woman just like this, blah, blah, blah. That, again, assumed that women who wear Lolita fashion or kawaii fashion are in some way more demure or like sweet to a fault. And that's just like, that's just not true. Like, we're kind of savage. We can be kind of savage sometimes. One that I've seen coming up here lately was that kawaii fashion could be considered cultural appropriation, which is false and shows how many Google searches you did before you came to your conclusion. Because when you look into kawaii fashion even a little bit, you know that there are Western influences in kawaii fashion already. So just because it came up in Japan doesn't mean that it's only for Japanese people. And then also recently there was this poor girl, oh my god, this poor girl. She had the word kawaii in her username, I think, and somebody DM'd her and told her that kawaii was a slur and that there's no such thing as kawaii culture, kawaii fashion, none of that stuff, that it's a slur, and that it means weak, which is false, and that they, as a black woman, should know better. So, this person, the person that was being harassed, they went on their page and made a post that they would no longer be using this term and that they found out that it was a slur, and boy did it blow up. Everybody had some shit to say. We were like, no it's not, no it's not, no it's not, no it's not. Like, I just, you know, cancel culture is a real thing, and I'm not trying to get my entire subculture annihilated. I would prefer not to do that. And kawaii's been in the West for like a long time, like at least the 80s, because Sanrio came out in like the 70s, so by the 80s at least there was like a solid portion, I mean enough to have some sort of relevance. So yeah, kawaii is not a slur, it does not mean weak, but this poor girl believed what this person was saying, and that was the worst part, that like this person just out of nowhere claimed all this stuff and there's nothing to support it, and the other person was just like, oh okay, I believe you. Like, what? And you would think that this person having the word kawaii in their username and having, I mean, they had like pretty significant following, they had to know that like that is not what that word meant. So yeah, I'm just kind of blown away by that whole situation. Lots of people have come out, from Asian Americans to like Japanese locals to like all kinds of people have been coming out and saying no, like that's, please do not. They were a lot nicer about it than I would be. I had one lady who had been just absolutely insisting that because she listened to Melanie Martinez, that she knew that Lolita fashion was sex stuff. And I was like, okay, excuse me, who is even Melanie Martinez? Like, who even gives a shit about Melanie Martinez? All I know is that Melanie Martinez does not wear Lolita fashion, otherwise we would know. So yeah, because she listened to Melanie Martinez, it's definitely sex stuff. So I may have threatened to run her over with my car. I was in another state though, so I couldn't have done it even if I wanted to. But I did. I wanted to, but I didn't run her over, just to be clear. So I ran out of memory, and now I don't remember, like I ran out of memory on my camera, and then I ran out of memory up here, and now I've forgotten where I was. So forgive me if I'm repeating myself right now, but I'm still ranting, so who cares? As I was probably saying, sissies ruin everything, and I hate it. One of the other ones that came up quite a bit was that they can't take women seriously when they're dressed quote unquote like that. And I don't understand why. Again, like most of these issues came down to like a them problem and not what we're wearing. Like, if you can't take someone seriously in a serious context when they're wearing pink frilly stuff, I think that's definitely a you problem. There has been a complaint that we are elitist because of our rules and because our dresses can get so expensive. And the thing is, like, first of all, it's literally just a classification. Like, all we're saying when something is or is not Lolita fashion is whether or not it fits within a certain classification. It's not if it's a bad outfit. It could be a bad outfit. It probably is if you're doing Lolita to an extent that is no longer Lolita. But that's none of my business. But it's definitely just like, this is not the thing that you said it is. If you say the sky is purple and it's clearly blue, I'm gonna say no, it's blue. And if nobody tells you that you're doing something wrong, then you're just gonna keep doing it wrong and everybody's gonna laugh at you behind your back because you look ridiculous. Like, I would definitely appreciate a little guidance, especially when I was like brand new, and I took it when people said you need to do this differently or you need to do that differently. You need to get a petticoat, you need different colored shoes. Like, it's just constructive criticism. And the thing is, at this point, like, our dresses are not that expensive anymore. You can get a really great dress for 50 bucks. Like, it's not that expensive. It does take a lot of different pieces, and it does take a lot of time to complete a full coordinate in any sort of J-fashion style like this, but that's just the nature of the fashion, is it's an OTT fashion. So I'm gonna put my lashes on and not waste my memory, and I will be back, so do not be alarmed. Alright, I found the biggest lashes I had. Very nice. Another interesting take, of course, is that we are conforming to gender norms, and that is not very punk of us. And I disagree, of course. I believe that standing out the way that we do and, you know, just being so different and looking so different is very punk indeed, and quite a feminist statement, because it's definitely not for a man's gaze, and it's definitely exclusively for me and my Instagram followers' enjoyment, because I post outfit pictures like literally every day. So if you aren't following me on there, definitely do that. I'm really just going like all out with this pink situation. I saw this girl do, like, her nose was just like for real pink, like she just covered that bitch in I guess like pink eyeshadow. That's what I'm doing, and put like a really bright highlighter on top of it, and it looked really good. So we're gonna see how that works for us today. I'm gonna have to go back and like fix this because I've got like pink stuff under my nose now, and I don't want it under my nose. I want it on my nose. I guess to these people, like, by virtue of wearing dresses, you're like participating in gender norms or whatever it was, and or perpetuating gender norms, which, I mean, you don't have to be a woman to wear this. Definitely not. Can be a non-binary and wear Lolita fashion. You can be a man and wear Lolita fashion. You can be a woman and wear OG fashion. Like, it's open to everyone, and by that is definitely not conforming to gender norms because men wear them. So, and like, I don't see how wearing a dress, like just any dress, is like perpetuating gender norms. Like, it's just clothes. I've seen some people refer to us as kids as well, so that's very interesting because they've like we either want to be kids or we are kids, but it's also sexy to some of them. So like, definitely all across the board here on what people think of it. But like I said, all of them came down to a them problem. Like, if you think dresses in general are exclusively for women, like, have you seen the Emmys? Do I like this? We'll see. The video I recorded yesterday, I totally forgot lipstick, like, the whole time. And I don't know how I managed it. Oh yeah. Excellent. And another thing about, like, the whole, like, shallowness issue, like, it's just standing out in this way and, like, questioning the normal and, like, being different and stuff like that. Like, that is very much not a shallow thing. Like, shallow people do what they're told and they just go along with it and they wear their khakis and they go home. You know, but like, we are not like that. I don't think that it's shallow to enjoy fashion at all. I think that it says a lot about a person that they are willing and open about enjoying fashion, because a lot of people do have that opinion that fashion is for shallow people. And I think that's absurd, because you can say so much with your clothing. Like, if you see a guy walking around in like a white tee, red suspenders, Doc Martens, you know that guy is a punk, and you know that that guy will help you change your tire if you need it. And like, that's you can tell by how he looks. So, you know, I guess I just like to differentiate myself from the herd, and I don't think that it's shallow to want to do that. I don't think it's shallow at all to want to be different and to go to great lengths to be different. I am doing twin tails today. A lot of the Fairy K looks that I saw involved wigs, like pretty big hair wigs, or twin tails. So, twin tails it is, because it's hot and I don't want to wear a wig right now. I always like to leave a little bit like in front of my ears. I just feel like it frames my face really nicely. My phone's ringing and they're calling to ask me about my car's extended warranty. I'm so tired of this, like, not even being able to answer my phone anymore thing. Like, I literally cannot even answer my phone to a number that I don't know, because they're all telemarketers, all of them. I'm gonna stick these up high in the back. Yeah. Trying to feel if they're even. Are they even? Mostly? Okay, cool. And now we get to do the fun part, which is accessories. I have come with gifts. Exciting gifts. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. So, yes, these. Okay. Lots and lots of accessories. It's pretty much the vibe, you know? And I really love that, because, like, you can just throw on more stuff and, like, different colors until it looks good. And I feel like that's easier than, like, a minimalist fashion. Minimalist fashion, you have to have it just right, with like very few pieces. And with kawaii fashion, you have a lot of pieces to mess with. This little pin is from Claire's. These are from Claire's. This one's from AliExpress. And this one is from Etsy. There are some rings that are made out of like this giant resin bow thingy that I want to get, but I just have not bit the bullet on it. They're $7 that I don't want to spend right now. And these little sparkly stars are from Shein. I also get them from AliExpress and Etsy. So you can get them pretty much, no, not Etsy. Oh, AliExpress, Shein, Claire's. Claire's is where I get some of them too. This is the best part, is putting on all the fun accessories. Yeah. Like, can you see how, like, visibly happy I am right now? Like, why would you not love this? Why would you not love this fashion? Oh, serotonin. Oh, so much serotonin. Should I put this one on that side? Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Let me just show you this bag real quick, because she is so special and she's new and I love her. And this is the Kiko Star bag from Kawaii Goods, and I'm just so excited to have it and to put it on my body. Like, it would go great with this one, and you can do it like a shoulder bag or like a fanny pack, and you can change like these back here. You can like add your own buttons. Okay, so for jewelry, we are wearing this amazing choker from Etsy. And this necklace from Bunny Boops on Instagram and Etsy, but she doesn't ship through Etsy to the US. So if you're in the US, you have to message her on Instagram. And we have these cute little wrist cuffs from Hot Topic. They are definitely some of my go-tos, and I hate to admit it because they're like my only fast fashion wrist cuffs. The rest are handmade from Peacockalorium on Etsy. But I just love these. Like, I love the little charms on them. So cute. And then bracelets from AliExpress. So this above the waist is pretty much Fairy K, but I'm wearing jeans and I feel like that is not Fairy K. So we're gonna give this one a half an outfit. So 2.5 outfits. And now we're going to go do a little dissection of the outfits and a little runway situation. And yeah, I'll see you in a second. So here are the shoes. They are from Amazon. Socks are from Roji on AliExpress. Our beautiful new purse from Kawaii Goods. Our beautiful new brooch and shirt from Kawaii Goods. And mint skirt from Hot Topic. I could wear my pink peignoir over this, but I feel like they would just look too similar to the other outfits if I wore the peignoir with both, but this would look really good with the peignoir, just know that. And our second outfit is the same shoes, socks, bag, and other accessories, but this time with the Milky Planet skirt from Angelic Pretty, and a little Care Bear shirt from Hot Topic, and a pink peignoir. That's a really common style choice for Fairy K, so I definitely wanted to include it in this video. And it's so pretty. So, now to model.